let's go on into this section.
The Convo Couch wouldn't be the Convo Couch, fam, unless we had a little session on this.
Well, because I mean, this is ridiculous now. This story gets absolutely crazy. So AOC doubled down on her Instagram live on the dress stunt, and also claimed that she's a victim, that she's constantly attacked. And then, of course, I'm gonna mention what's going on with her working class designer, who is apparently not working class at all, not even a little bit. So she said a happy Sunday AMA, and she was asked, do you regret wearing the dress after all the backlash from it? I loved it, by the way. And she said, no, this is a timeline of all people in the U.S. researching tax the rich on Google over the last 5 years. That spike dotted line at the end, that's the number of people in the U.S. researching tax the rich since Monday. So she's giving herself credit for that. Some critics say awareness isn't enough, and of course that is true, but mass class consciousness is a necessary component for action. And sometimes I think people believe there's more out there than there actually is. There is also a built-in resistance to certain ideas going mainstream in general, in a way that's not unlike people who dislike when other people start to appreciate the indie music they have enjoyed for years, as though popularity is inherently bad or corrupting, and things can only be virtuous when they are unpopular or obscure. But how can we build a movement if it's unpopular? I'm not interested in being part of a club or to live in a way that I drive a sense of self-worth from constant holier than thou criticism. I am interested in mass conversations of a system of class, race, justice. Right. Unions and cooperatives should be mainstream. Combos about the value of labor should be pop, because the alternative is a pop culture of worshiping billionaires and thinking excessive wealth is cool when people can't afford to be housed or fed. Some may disagree, and the thoughtful critiques are important too, but honestly, this whole thing pissed off the right people, because billionaire-owned media outlets have been going after me for days, which means we did something right. Okay, so first of all, billionaires haven't been going after her. Like, I guess you could say some people on the right have been going after her for the hypocrisy, but they haven't really been going after her. They've been promoting her. They've been nonstop, and I'll show you how they've been promoting her, but what do you think of what she's saying?
Really quickly, just to sum it up. Oh shit! Really? I mean, well, let's just go on with the session, because I want to wait, because I'm holding my thoughts right here. Because I mean, this is just,
it's really, for me, it's like psychological grooming, what she's doing here.
She's making the assumption that people Google tax the rich because they want to tax the rich. No,
right.
They want to see the dress. The rich. They want to see the dress.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
sums it up pretty well.
Oh my God! Bad assumption there. It's completely false.
Right, but and she's not. She knows this, right? They all know this. They know that the Googling tax the rich isn't going to make rich people willingly give the money to poor people. That's there's zero connection there.
Well, she's saying a lot of people aren't necessarily tax the rich, which is bullshit.
Right. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Why? Because she shows up to some fucking Met Gala with a dress on. That changes things. It's like she threw some stink bomb in there. Bullshit. I can't wait for Fiorella to prove how they've been promoting her right now, because that was one of the first things I was attacked about over the weekend, was like, oh, you'll give AOC so much shit, but you'll go and cover this. I'm like, what kind of fucking stupid is that?
What does that have to do with anything?
It's psychological grooming is
That's
what
exactly,
you said.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
She's using the progressive terms. I just want to put that out there, like cooperatives and this, and she's using the same arguments neoliberals use on Bernie supporters 5 years ago. Because what they would say is, oh, you guys just can't, you can't take a win if somebody just, is just close enough. You're such purists. You do. And it's like, it's not about that. It's about substance. There's no substance to this. It's all performative. And like I said, performative could be anybody, wearing something or whatever. That's all performative. But it's more than that. It's performative, and they're trying to mask it as this great scheme, like to be like a working class leader. That's how you get. This is not how you get change. This is how you get the facade of change, like the symbolic gestures that do nothing for the working class.
The facade of change.
So happy Sunday. And they said, is it hard to take a stand against your own party sometimes? And she said, yeah, it can be unbelievably difficult at times. Last year I got on an extremely well-funded Dem primary challenge to the tune of $3 million, funded and supported by the corporate wing of the party and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which is a seemingly named dark money lobbyist group, by the way. That kind of thing doesn't happen when you're a good Democrat that always votes with the party. But aside from challenges, there can be extreme environment of bullying, disrespect, and intimidation around those who challenge the status quo. So again, she's painting herself as somebody that challenges the status quo when she has voted in line with the majority of Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats, and she pretty much confers with Nancy Pelosi before they do their votes, just like they did with the police bill where they voted present and etc. They do this all the time. It isn't as bad this term, but my first term was pretty awful in respect. I mean, the stories I could tell you, the degree of viciousness was fueled by quite a few factors, but one was a pervasive idea that my election was a fluke and that I would be gone soon. When I won re-election with even stronger margins the second time, I think that's when more people started treating me with basic respect. So again, she's the working the fighter for the working class, anti-establishment, even though we know that's not real. Instagram has a younger audience, right? So people who don't know what we know are going to be like, oh yeah, AOC, she fights for the working class.
Yeah.
And how's your happiness level? Are you doing okay? Was what someone asked. I'm okay. The constant barrage of hate, vitriol, judgment, criticism, etc. can be a lot to carry. I have my ups and downs like everyone else. I'm really grateful to have OG friends from before all this craziness who know me well and hold it down.
Oh fuck.
So she's again,
stop.
A victim. And I wanted to point this out too because last week we covered her ties with the Financial Innovations Inc. If you look at this, it says a fun highlight from her store, right? We can find this in the website itself, right? And you can see that in order to make a purchase, you must consent to the contribution rules below. I am a U.S. citizen or lawful admitted permanent resident, i.e. a green card holder. So why would you have to show your citizenship to get a shirt, right? Or to show your residency? Well, this is the same requirements that are necessary for when you donate to a political campaign, right? So buying a merch from this shop from AOC equals donating to AOC. This is why the FEC involvement is likely related to tax avoidance. Now, I can't 100% prove this, but if you go and look at any sort of donation to any politician, you must do the same thing. It is very strange that you have to also denote if you're a citizen or not to buy a shirt. I've never had to do that to buy anything else online. Why? Because this is in a way to it seems that the buying of a merch equals donating to her to AOC's whatever fund, right? And in this way you could technically avoid taxes on sales, payroll, income, businesses, etc. So
merchandise is a premium for a donation,
right?
As the total value of your transaction is legally considered to be a political contribution, FEC regulation requires that we verify some personal information prior to checkout. You got to put your employer and occupation. And yeah, here are the statements. This is what happened when I put the shirt to the cart and I want to check out. Employer, occupation, I agree. I'm a U.S. citizen. A contribution is made from my own funds. And I'm making this contribution from my own personal credit card. No corporate. I'm at least 18 years old. I'm not a federal contractor. So those are all the requirements. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm going to continue looking into that.
I mean, what a cappuccino fucking communist fucking thing. Let's get a tax the rich shirt. Get out there. These fucking people, they don't want to get their hands dirty whatsoever. They want a fucking riskless revolution.
They're co-opting
Just agree.
A revolution. Not even tax the rich is more of a reformist message, but they're even co-opting that, right? They're co-opting this whole revolutionary sort of jargon and bringing it into the Democratic Party. That's what they're doing. That's what the CIA and the state agencies are experts at doing, putting people out there like Obama. They did this with Obama too. This is why I said she's like the next Barack Obama. Because she's very similar, like enchanting, very good at speaking, the way she was trained and
tax the rich by using a platform that are fucking Clinton loyalists that fucking push NAFTA and just made the rich uber rich. That's who the fuck we're taxing now? Who the fuck are you kidding?
And I just wanted to show this picture. That Vax one. You can see that let everyone know you're vaxxed so you can go mask free without looking like you don't believe in science.
Oh my God.
So that they're promoting that. And then.
And Fee Marketing is the company. The
Financial Innovations
is the company that does the shirts for AOC. Yeah. And is union based, but yeah.
It is union based. So what the fucking neo-progressives are saying, well, at least it's union based. That's why it's so expensive and blah blah blah. And you know how it is when we were trying to like, it's so hard. It's almost impossible unless you're like, you have a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, it could be like the shirts are made somewhere else, brought over, and then the printing's done over here. It's union based. We don't know the whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to get around that stuff. So, you know, I'd like to see some shirts made in the States by a union and stuff. So.
So also, if you go down to the end of their website where it says integrated fulfillment, you'll see a picture of Hillary Clinton, because they were also huge Hillary Clinton fans. There she is.
Aw, with the arrow. I'm with her.
Yeah, so that's they made the shirts for her. I'm with her.
For her failed campaign.
Yeah. So there
failed
it is.
Political career.
Cute. So and this is the thing I wanted to really point out about her designer. And of course, you know, the New York Post is, you know, they lean right. But according to the New York Post, this woman owes $103,000 and $220,000 in back taxes. She received $41,666 in PPP loans. She has unpaid interns, owed $62,000 plus in workers' comp, and she still found $250,000 for a table at the Met Gala. Now her boyfriend's really rich, so maybe she didn't pay for it. But this is her house in LA. That's a picture of her house in LA. I don't know about you, but a working class person does not have a house like that in LA. She also, I wanted to point out a person that worked for her complained of treatment and how they were mistreated. I'm going to scroll down. It's right here. Ex-staffers blasted.
It's right below the picture of the couch.
It's right below the picture of the
living
house,
room. Look
the
at
living room.
That's not a proletariat's house.
Yeah. It's the article, Johnny, if you click on the article. Yeah, sorry, it's the article. If you click on the New York Post
The Frank
article.
Lutz article.
So apparently her ex-staff blasted the operation as a sweatshop that relied on legions of unpaid interns working full-time jobs. So you can go scroll down a few paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the second picture.
Right below it.
And she said, this person said, I experienced a lot of harassment when I worked for her. One former contract employee told the Post, Aurora, that's the name of the designer, would ask me to do things that were not in anyone's job description. Right there. Yep. And like scheduling her gynecological appointments. The work environment was so hostile that I was afraid to ask for my check. The employee was ultimately terminated. An ex-intern called James quite cold, adding that she never gives recognition or acknowledgement to her team. And of course, I mean, I'm not gonna, get into everything, but you guys should read the article. She's got a lot of things she hasn't paid for, but her home in LA is in the Hollywood Hills. It's a two-door style home with cathedral ceilings, 7,000 square feet, and it was 1.6 million in LA in the middle of the pandemic, it was probably underpriced at that point. So it should probably be a lot more. Now, okay, I don't care if people have houses. That's not a lot of money in LA. But I'm just telling you, the way the media painted it, the way AOC painted it, the way these progressives painted it, that she's a working class designer. Now we know she's dating this guy who is worth $100 million. We know that she has all these tax money that she hasn't paid. She got a PPP loan on top of that. She has a nearly $2 million home in the Hollywood Hills. That's like one of the prime areas. It's not like the Valley. It's not like, it's a prime area. So this whole thing, right? And this is nothing, okay, against the designer. But it's, my issue is how they've painted her as like AOC's doing a favor to this working class woman. It's like they acted like this woman was like barely scraping by.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not the case. And you see, and then she talks about how the media has been attacking her. The only media that has really attacked anything has been more right-leaning media going into the hypocrisy of the designer and how that was portrayed, right? Like nobody's really attacking like the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC. They've all been propping her up. So it's just interesting to see like the story develop as to how they've
Like I said, it was just so funny that the first thing that somebody said to me this weekend at the rally was like, "You guys go after AOC so hard, yet you condone this." I'm like, oh my Lord, what you're standing. And it is psychological grooming.
Yeah.
You just think about a lot of high school students and young college students who really, they're just on the surface level when it comes to politics. They don't understand what's going on. They don't pay attention as we do. They're going to come out liking AOC for a while, and it's going to be a while before they get shock treatment and realize, like, oh my God, she is a fugazi.
We've lived through Obama as well. So that's
we
part
liked
of it
Obama too. Yeah, we loved Obama. I mean,
so that's why it was easier to spot AOC faster than Obama, like because it was like it's like, okay, now I'm seeing a lot of the similarities here. Like, okay, you won't fool me once, fool me twice. Can't fool me again.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're not gonna fool me again.
See, I can't even be as dumb as
not gonna fool
Bush.
me again. He literally forgot the fucking.
I was trying my hardest.
Can't fool me again. Can't get fooled again.
God, I want. Imagine screaming that as he's doing his little speech.